Oh my God, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Gadget Gears podcast. I'm your host, Mobile Mike, and with me, I've got just two guys that are great. I mean, I can't really say enough good things about these two fellas. The first one is Nick Ball, aka Dr. Ball. He's a doctor. What's up?
Just happy to be here. I'm happy to do the show. We're doing it on a Monday, and normally that's a terrible thing. But this week, I mean, we hit the jackpot of news that happened this afternoon. We got a ton of shit to talk about that we wouldn't have had to talk about last night.
That's true. Even though I'm not sure what you're talking about, hopefully you'll fill me in. I've been busy. But if you peep the show notes, it might be in there. I don't know. We also have Victor Webb. He is arch nemesis to Spiderman, seeing as how his last name is Webb. What's up, buddy? Or he might direct a Spider-Man movie because his last name is Webb. We don't know.
Think about that, man. I'm actually directing the new Venom crossover coming out. So
I like that. You're a little low. Your mic's a little low.
Is that better?
Not really.
Better?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. No, I was saying I'm directing the new Venom crossover coming out, man. So I was thinking about casting you as Eddie Brock, man. You just gotta get a little bit bigger. You can do that.
Well, I mean, I feel like if Topher Grace could do it and pull it off, then yeah, I got that shit. Because I mean, you're gonna CGI some fucking Venom abs on me, right?
No, man. No, you gotta actually fill out that suit.
Oh, all right. I'm more like Ben Affleck, Batman.
Oh man, actually, we gotta put that in the show notes, dude.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. The shit with what?
Batsuit. You didn't see the Batsuit? The Ben Affleck.
Yeah, I saw the Batsuit. I didn't hear what you said. I heard that shit was, and then I didn't hear it. Okay, cool. All right. Because we were gonna have to fight.
Oh no, Nick Ball. That's the only person.
Nick Ball, maybe. Nick Ball, maybe. But before we roll off into all the shit we're going to talk about, because we got a lot of stuff. We got, if you guys don't know, we do this podcast every 2 weeks. Today we're doing it on a delay. Had some fucking pipes break and shit in my house last night. Shit was all fucked up, or not last night, actually in the middle of the day. So, Nick dropped off. It looks like. Hopefully he'll be back. So normally we do the show on Sunday, but we didn't. So we're doing it today. We do it every 2 weeks, so we have lots to talk about. Hopefully we come up with some better discussion topics and reviews and more juicy stuff, because everybody talks about the news, and yeah, we're going to cover that, and we're going to put our spin on the news, but at the end of the day, we like to try and come up with some other cool shit to do. So we're going to get into that. But if you'd like to reach us, if you'd like to send us an email, tell us how we're doing, tell us how we're not doing, podcast@thegadgetgears.net. You can reach out to us there. Check out our website out, thegadgetgears.net. And, of course, when you go to the website, there's a link that says Support the Gurus. If you guys like the show, you want us to continue doing what we're doing, help fund the show. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this, equipment, like this microphone here, which I've had for like 4 years. I was scrolling through my YouTube video uploads the other day, just kind of reminiscing about the things that I uploaded on YouTube, which is almost complete shit, and I'm sorry to the world for putting that out there. But one of them was an unboxing of this microphone. It was like 4 years ago. God damn, I had that mic for 4 years. God damn, we've been doing this show for 4 fucking years, and before I had this mic, I had some bullshit Skype mic that you buy at like Staples or something, and Nick was like, come on, we gotta step the fucking game up. We're going to podcast, we gotta podcast, right? He's always pushing me to do better, and I'm always trying to do just the bare minimum to say what I want to say and put that shit on the internet. So yeah, if you guys want to help us out, hosting, equipment, all that stuff, money goes into all the things that we do. You can check out thegadgetgears.net, click Support the Gurus, and you get prizes when you do the shit. You get shout outs, you get internet hugs, you get all kinds of shit. So check that out. Let's do this. Let's roll into the show. Let's start it off with now let's save the Batman stuff for later, because I got some comic related shit at the bottom.
There you go.
Did you already add anything, Nick? What happened this week that you wanted to talk about or this afternoon? Let's roll.
Man, it's really hard to hear you.
My voice
bring his volume up, man. Google Hangout Toolbox. That's what I did.
No, I know the volume's fine. It's just and it's like it's driving me nuts. But AT&T DirecTV merger. I mean, it hasn't gone all the way through yet. They're still waiting on the Sunday Ticket, which was something I was worried about. You got that. You got Google buying Twitch for $1 billion. I mean.
Yeah, I forgot to put. I did have the AT&T stuff in there, but I passed over the Google buying Twitch. Is that a fish or is that and by that means official? You guys, I mean, if you're cool, you say a fish, you shorten everything. Is that official or is that just rumored still?
I'm pretty sure it's official, right, Vic?
For what?
Google buying Twitch.
It's not I mean, it's official. They're trying to buy it. I think they still got to go through all the regulation and bullshit.
Well, I mean, yeah, so it's official.
Okay, they've said that they want to buy Twitch. You know, at this point.
No. They're getting permission to buy them.
Okay, gotcha.
I think the deal has been agreed upon. They just need approval.
Right.
Which, yeah, I mean, a lot of shit going on.
That is the big deal, especially if you consider. I mean, we use Google Hangouts, and,
right?
You know, and Google has done a lot with. I mean, when I do this, or when we do this podcast, I like to think I do it on my own. You guys are just fucking jokers. It automatically uploads to YouTube. And that's it. I don't do shit. It's there. And then, you know, to do the audio side of it, I pull the file down and some other magic that happens behind the scenes that only, you know, Harry Potter alchemists know how to do. But otherwise, it's pretty cut and dry. And for something like Twitch, that makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense for Google to be buying Twitch. Hopefully, they'll get the fucking mobile gaming on point. You know.
Yeah, maybe they'll have some streaming your mobile video gaming on your Android handset straight to YouTube.
Yeah, that would.
I mean, that's what Twitch's bread and butter is streaming video game playing. I mean,
right. That would be cool. That would be cool. But I mean, either way, even if they don't do mobile, that's still a pretty big purchase. That's a pretty because Twitch blew the fuck up. I mean, they're all of a sudden. That
was the most interesting stat out of all the articles I saw was that the top 4 internet bandwidth consumption sites was it was Netflix, Google, Twitch, and somebody else probably really obvious who I can't think of right now. Maybe like Amazon or something, I don't know. But Twitch to be way up there as far as consumption of bandwidth. I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never even looked at it.
Yeah, like, same here. I mean, Jeff, when he was on the show, he would talk about it all the time.
Well, yeah, because he goes on there and does his little boom explode shit, but yeah.
Yeah, so I heard the name, but I don't, you know,
yeah.
I never.
So
I guess the only time I ever watch video game like footage is when I watch like Marvel vs. Capcom stuff or like Street Fighter tournaments when they have big tournaments.
And that was one of the things I mentioned in the article too, is that like. What was it, like 3 billion people watch the Super Bowl or something, but like 14 billion people watch some gaming world championship.
Really?
Live, like
million, so, not billion.
Million, yeah.
That's what I said, 14 million.
3 billion, you know, like
I heard
the world population watches the Super Bowl.
Look, the entire world population watches the video game.
Like 2 times the world population watches. Oh man!
But that being said, like astronomically more people watched a video game competition than tuned in to watch the Super Bowl, and that translates into fucking revenue. If you own the carrier for that, you know.
Yeah, it also is a sad state for people in general. We are a lazy piece of shit race, and we're no longer physical. Physical.
Wait, you're implying that physical, dude.
Physical. Yeah, I'm implying. Well, I'm not implying. It's scientifically proven that even our top elite athletes at this time in life are not even comparable to the hunter-gatherers.
But the way you drew that conclusion from what you just said there.
Yeah, is that a bunch of fucking fat, lazy video game bastards are tuning into some shit instead of out there running around playing with a football? That's what I'm fucking saying.
That a lot of people who watch football are active, which is. You know, just
that's what
statistic you're just putting on your ass now.
I'm implying that I bet more people. Okay, I'm implying that a percentage of people that watch the Super Bowl is a higher percentage of active people than the percentage of people that watch whatever StarCraft tournament that 14 million people tuned in for.
Based on what, man?
Based on my own assumption, I'm making that up,
well,
and I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Opinion.
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Yeah, well, you know.
Okay, all right. Let me ask you this. How many StarCraft players do you know that are physically active?
I don't know any StarCraft players.
All right, so 0.
Well, that's not. No, Mike. Do your bullshit numbers, your bullshit statistics, your bullshit logic.
I'm fucking right. I'm fucking right.
Yeah.
I'm fucking right.
So
so
like
that's
assholes, man.
So the other thing is, there's been a lot of like merger buying, FCC shit going on. So, yeah, AT&T. We'll skip ahead since we're talking about people buying people. AT&T is buying DirecTV, $48 billion. I guess since they couldn't buy T-Mobile for $39 billion, they're like, let's buy someone else for more.
Crazy.
Let's see.
Crazy. I mean, at this point, you're gonna have Time Warner, who's been bought by Comcast, right? And then now you have DirecTV, that's been bought by Uverse. So all that's left then is Dish Network.
And Fios by themselves.
Well, and even Verizon's backed out of that.
Well, you know what's weird? It's. I mean, I kind of saw the writing on the wall years ago. I used to work for AT&T. Fuck you guys. And they sold, like, in areas where Uverse wasn't available, they would partner with DirecTV and sell DirecTV bundled service with their phone and DSL. Yeah. So now you
can get DirecTV on you.
I still think Verizon bundled with Comcast, dude.
No, that you could get DirecTV with Verizon. Oh, okay. Some of my dad ended up doing because he's got the Fios internet and DirecTV. But AT&T would give you DirecTV without having to have a satellite dish.
Oh no, you had to have a satellite.
Well, not anymore. If you can get
maybe not anymore, but back then, I don't know.
Right. But the thing is right now you can get DirecTV without a satellite dish through Uverse.
Right.
Which is
and I think another big thing with this is the retail store availability for this kind of thing. When people walk into a store, AT&T can slang them the first party service.
Yeah.
From top to bottom, AT&T can offer you everything, and in areas where Uverse isn't even available, anyone can mount a satellite somewhere and get service. Most people, I should say, it's very, very rare that someone can't get a satellite and get DirecTV service because of maybe tree cover, or they don't have a clear view, or they're in a weird apartment, they don't allow them to mount shit. So there are circumstances where that's not going to work. But I mean, for the majority of people that walk into an AT&T store, from all the way from your home phone down to your mobile phone and a tablet, I mean, that's a big market.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think it's going to go through, though? Do you think that the government is going to let it?
Well, what I find interesting is that they would not let Dish Network and DirecTV merge. And I kind of had forgot about that when Comcast and Time Warner thing was going on. And has that been approved or not?
Not yet, no.
Not yet? See, because the Dish Network and DirecTV were not allowed to merge. They tried twice, and both times they were denied.
It just comes down to how much money they have. They just didn't have enough to lobby it.
Apparently, because that would have not. That still would have created a single satellite provider, but it would have not been any large monopoly compared to like a Comcast. Would have still been bigger, but for Comcast and AT&T to basically just.
All right, so check this out. Here's some numbers for you. This is crazy. So, AT&T subscribers. Currently sits at 124 million subscribers. This is, I believe, this is combining wireless as well. DirecTV has 20. Well, it's the total. They have 38 million. 20 of that is in the U.S. So a combined AT&T and DirecTV would have a subscriber base of 163 million. A combined subscriber base of Comcast Time Warner would only have 61 million.
Yeah, but that's not comparing apples to apples, man.
Right, that's true. That's true. But we're talking about customers that are paying a bill every
TV,
month.
internet, and stuff like that. With Comcast and home phone, where Comcast competes at, I think AT&T only has 5 million or something like that. So even then, with the merger, they're still going to be number 2 at 20 million, 28 million, 25 million, or something like that. Whatever the numbers is, it's not that big, really.
Well, the DirecTV has 38 million, so I mean, if AT&T has half of that, then they're still sitting pretty close to a Comcast Time Warner merger.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big fucking deal, dude.
It is,
Especially
yeah.
NFL Sunday Ticket.
Right. The Sunday Ticket is a huge thing. I mean, people specifically get DirecTV, probably physically fit, active people because they watch football.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I had DirecTV for years, and just for Sunday Ticket. And
Physically
that's
active.
Okay, I got the numbers here. It's 25.5 million, Mike, with AT&T and DirecTV together.
25.5.
34 million.
Well, that's because what I just pulled up was 38 million is what DirecTV has currently. They
This
have
might
20.
be
Well,
less.
they have 20 million in the U.S.
Yeah, so this is in the U.S., dude. So the DirecTV, AT&T in the U.S. compared to Comcast in the because that's all we care about, man. We're not, you know, it doesn't matter
Okay,
what
so
else
then that
we're
means
about.
AT&T only has like 5 million UVerse subscribers.
Yeah.
Well, no shit, they want to buy DirecTV because
False.
I mean, if you're at well, UVerse is a very very new, slow to roll out service. They've had now I don't know if they've had a hard time getting it out, but it just seems like it's not available in all the same places that even FiOS, which is it's not your traditional one of your traditional telcos. I mean, they are now, but when they weren't previously Verizon. Yeah. So anyway, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So we also have some other FCC stuff. FCC voted on some net neutrality stuff that was going on. So this gets kind of confusing, at least for me, because I'm stupid. So basically, what was going on was the FCC commissioner was
Paid off.
his idea was to come up with a fast lane that would allow ISPs to charge for preferential speed treatment on their network. So, for example, what's going on with like Netflix and stuff. So Netflix, that has a, they have a streaming service. They need to provide a certain speed in order to get adequate quality. And there's a lot of traffic, going to Netflix. So Comcast, for example, would be able to say, well, you have to pay me dollars. I don't know figures what the amount is or whatever. But if you'd like access to our fast lane, you will need to pay us to be on that fast lane. Otherwise, we're going to relegate you to just the good old regular fucktard internet. That's not going to be that great. Nick, are you up to on this? Am I talking right? Am I speaking correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So the vote went down apparently, and they voted against it, which is good. But apparently they also want to. There's a kind of a secondary thing in there that is going to have like a minimum speed. So the fast lanes are still on the table because this is a vote, and they're going to reposition it again and vote on it again. The shit never fucking ends until the people who have the money get what they want. The shit will never end. But from what I gather, there is a secondary thing in there where the speeds of the slow lane or the standard lane will have to be adequate enough to handle services, all services like Netflix and things like that. And then I don't know what the fast lane would be for at that point. Like maybe, I don't know, like businesses or some. I don't know, Nick.
No, see, you can't do that because what defines adequate, dude? It's all relative at that point.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and that's why people are still worried about this. It's not like the vote went down and
bullshit.
everything's done.
For Netflix could be like 480p streams.
Right.
By definition, it's fast lane.
Right. So it's still the fast lane is still there. The idea of using a fast lane is still on the table, and they're going to be redoing this proposal and going forward with another vote. I don't know, sometime soon. But yeah. So I mean, this is a big deal because this could totally change the way we use the internet. I mean, everything that we do now is on the internet. So I mean, from taking payments to looking up porn or whatever, everything is on the internet now. So putting constraints on it, but I don't know. So like I'm in, it's government regulation to say, okay, you have to provide, let's say, 10 megabits per second minimum to every subscriber. I don't know, because that's the government stepping in and being like, hey, you got to do this. And yeah, that's great for consumers, I think, for some. But then maybe, I don't know. I'm still kind of
Right. The problem
wishy-washy
right now
even
is
where
that
I
cable
stand.
companies have such a monopoly that you have to have in a sense, it's kind of like government.
Right, like I'm not for government regulation in any regard. You know, I've always been. That's not my thing. You know, I think the government, for a lot of stuff, the government needs to step the fuck back.
To be honest, pure capitalism.
But in this kind of situation, I'm almost inclined to say we do need some fucking regulation, just because these companies are a bunch of assholes, and at the end of the day, they're going to do whatever they got to do to make money and screw over their customers. So I'm still kind of in this wishy-washy area. We'll have to see what exactly goes down.
See, that's why capitalism isn't perfect. It requires government to be successful, but at the same time, government's corrupt. So
right.
If
everything worked like it's supposed to on paper, then government interaction would be fine to an extent. And same thing with free market. Free market would be fine to an extent, but in a world where the dollar rules, people are going to go where the money's at, and that's an unfortunate thing. Is they're not going to go for what's best for us, what's best for the consumers, what's best for your even own customers. They're going to do what's best for their bottom line, and as a business, that's their choice, and that's their right to do that. They're a business. They're in this to make money and to keep their money. So I don't know. We'll see. The other FCC thing I got going on is so the FCC was going to be doing a spectrum auction here pretty soon, and a lot of the smaller carriers were lobbying the FCC to limit the amount of involvement that the big guys have, AT&T and Verizon, because they have so much money they can just come in there and just buy up all the spectrum, or outbid the other guys just to make it to where the bids are so high they can't even participate, that sort of thing. So they changed the rules, and they basically are limiting the amount that AT&T and Verizon will be able to bid in the upcoming 2015 spectrum auction. So little guys like T-Mobile and Sprint, and I'm going to say little guys because they're one of the main guys, but there's also a lot of regional carriers and stuff that might want to get in on this that otherwise wouldn't be able to. This is another one. I'm gray here, man. I don't know. Like, the fucking big guys, they got big because they got big, they fucking started off small and got big. Fuck you, and the little guys, it's like I feel for them too, because they're the little guys and we want to make it fair for everybody, but god damn it, not everybody at the fucking game gets a trophy, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Nick, help me out, man. Where are you at on this?
Well, it's interesting. It's what they're actually doing is they're limiting the amount of a specific type of spectrum that any company can have. So they're taking a defined amount of spectrum, and they're saying, all right, there's only this much to have. I'm not going to let AT&T and Verizon literally buy all of it. We're going to keep part of this for lower tier carriers. So 80% of the spectrum is going to be set aside for level A carriers, and then 20% of the spectrum is going to be set aside for level B carriers. And then we're going to auction these off to them so that U.S. Cellular is not competing against Verizon and AT&T for bandwidth spectrum. They're just competing against the smaller people. And I think that's okay because you're dealing with a finite amount of spectrum. It's not limitless. It's not just buy as much as you fucking want. There's only so much, and this spectrum is actually needed in order to provide longer range on cell towers, and not just longer range, but you're also going to get better penetration. It's a lower wave frequency. So
wait, you're going to get what? You're going to get what?
Better penetration, Mike.
Okay, thanks.
Better penetration. It's going to go deeper. It's going to go longer. And that's what people want. And it's really interesting is that
who doesn't want deeper, longer?
Is that some of this stuff was had and I don't know whatever happened to it, but pagers ran on this shit. And that was what was great about a pager is it fucking went off anywhere because it was so low.
Well, it's like doctors; they still have them,
Yeah, it's because they use such a low frequency wave that they can get through buildings, they can go long distances. You get up in the mountains and they still work because the waveform just travels better.
Well,
so this is good for everybody.
I think I'm okay with this for the reason that this will make the little guys more competitive with the bigger guys, which in turn means more competition, more choice for the consumer. So Yeah, although the government has made some rules and restrictions placed on the bigger guys, and normally I'm not for that kind of thing. I think in this case it actually makes sense for consumers because if T-Mobile and Cellular South or whoever who was the one that you
U.S.
just
Cellular.
mentioned, U.S. Cellular, companies like that can get in on a more competitive edge, then that just ultimately means more choice for people, and that is a good thing.
Well, it allows for more capitalism.
It does. It allows for more bankroll.
That's right. Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. I get
Shout out
faster.
for everyone.
I get deeper, longer, penetrating service.
Yes.
On my T-Mobile phone.
Yeah.
All right. So we're talking about people buying people left and right, and this one, I don't know. Maybe someone can tell me why it makes sense. I'm sure there's 14 articles out there as to why this makes sense, and I just haven't read
any
them.
of them.
I didn't read a single goddamn one. So Apple is reportedly buying Beats, the Beats headphones by Dr. Dre, for $3.2 billion. I don't know. Vic, did you read anything or have? I mean, honestly, I have no idea. Like, if I were to just sit down and Nick, you said, Mike, I need you to write an article on why Apple's buying Beats, I would have nothing to say. I mean, I don't know what Beats provides Apple other than hardware, maybe, for headphones and brand recognition. And I say that like a question because I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know if this is something Apple needs. As Apple headed in another direction, they are one of the best hardware retailers out there. They can sell the fuck out of some hardware. They have great margins. So maybe this is just Apple branching out into another hardware venture.
Dude, Apple tried to branch out into some kind of high-end earbuds, and that failed. So this is just an easy way for them to get in there with the name brand of Beats right now. Beats is, even though they're not the best, they sell a crap ton because people love the style.
Right, people are stupid.
People think they're good, even though they're not. I'm not gonna say they're not good, but there's just you can get.
Yeah, but they're not
$3.99
powered by a fucking 9-volt good.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can get better for less, but ultimately it's the brand recognition that comes with it, and also too, I think Apple wants to get into music streaming, so they can acquire Mo and aka Beats Music, so that comes with it, and that allows Apple to get in there because iTunes Radio has been kind of a big flop in the sense that it's
iTunes what?
iTunes Radio?
Never even heard of it.
Exactly. No one uses that shit.
Yeah. So. Huh. Really? They give an iPad, iPhone. You never heard of iTunes Radio?
So yeah, seriously,
So
no idea.
put the app on your iPhone and click on radio, and that's iTunes Radio.
Why would I use the music on the iPhone?
Oh,
That's another thing I don't understand. Why do people put music on their iPhones?
Yeah, I don't get that either. Like I don't sync shit. Like it's all in the cloud.
Why would you put?
First of all, not everybody has.
The only time I get is if you do like an offline playlist or something.
Even then, I just don't understand why people. I mean, I don't know. Do people still use iTunes for music?
Say you're going on a plane.
Yeah.
And you want to listen to some jams, it's good to have one playlist.
What you do is you build your playlist in Spotify, and then you save the device, and then it's all there.
That's
what I mean. That's
still putting music on your phone.
That's not putting music on your phone. People literally.
That's by definition. You're literally storing music on your phone, Nick.
That's not what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about. Just saying the way you articulated that.
I am talking about the fucking Apple Music app.
There are people that still use it, it's just not as much as before.
You know who uses that is your mom.
Well, Nick, nevertheless.
And that wasn't a your mom joke. I'm just saying, your parents are like, oh, I can get an iPod that makes phone calls. Like, who the fuck uses this shit?
I mean, there's still people who do it. Some people are still resistant to the whole idea of streaming, like paying for
some people still buy Blu-rays too.
Whoa.
Some people own this shit.
Whoa.
Yeah, hey Nick, some people are like you when it comes to physical media. They like to own their shit, man.
That's not owning it. That's buying a digital copy. That's just foolish.
You own it, man. You can download it whenever you want and such. So.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. When I walk by that $8 Blu-ray bin at Walmart, sometimes I go fucking crazy. I got Blu-rays up the ass now from that fucking thing. In fact, I'm sitting on 3 of them. get them out of the way. Kind of hurt, but yeah, I mean, I still buy Blu-ray every once in a while, but I'd say 90% of my purchases are online purchases or cloud purchases because you can't get those deals. You can't get those $8 1080p movie deals like they got at Walmart. And I gotta see the Ninja Turtles in full awesome Blu-ray. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I go to Redbox.
Anyways.
Oh well, yeah. Redbox if you want to rent something.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, how many times do you have to rent a movie from Redbox before you feel like you're getting ripped off? Like 10, 12? I mean, what's the number?
Well, no, I mean, I back up Redbox's box for them, so I'm good. Like I have no qualms toward paying money to Redbox because they've basically, filled my movie collection when DVDs were cool. Now they're not cool, and they look like shit on my TV.
Probably getting back on topic here, Nick. You're right. Okay, people are not buying music, so streaming is becoming more important. So the whole Beats Music will probably play into this. Now Apple has a legitimate music service to kind of work into their thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Except no one uses Beats Music either.
Well, I mean, like Apple.
This is going to be a waste of three. This is going to be a waste of $3.2 billion.
No, it's not. The headphones, the business alone is going to help them out big time, and then along that too, Mike. As I said, once they get their software engineers on it, Beats Music is decent for for some of the things it does. It's just that it doesn't do a lot of things well, and Apple will fix it.
I think the market is already too ingrained. I mean, people have Spotify and audio. I think it's going to be really tough. I mean, when you get that third or fourth player into anything, into any business, it's really tough for them to break out and become the
not
number
necessarily,
one.
Because first of all, we got to look at a couple things, Mike. Second of all, first of all, it's still growth. So there's still a whole bunch of people that they can still target with this. Second of all, they can integrate into iPhone. So if they integrate into iOS, that alone could probably. I mean, even though that was expected for
iTunes Radio is integrated, isn't it?
Huh?
Right?
Well, iTunes Radio is a poor implementation. It's really shitty. It's just designed to get you to buy from the iTunes store. It's really what it is. So if they introduce a proper music service integrated in iOS, that could really make some huge waves, Mike.
All right. Well, speaking of huge waves, Samsung killed a whole shitload of people with leukemia.
Oh damn.
That's some fucked up shit.
What?
That's Yeah. Look in the show notes. This is just fucked up. So there's there was some potentially dangerous work environments that some of these workers were working in and handling chemicals and shit, and a bunch of them developed 56 cases of uncurable leukemia. They basically all got the death sentence from doctors. Samsung said, "My bad. Here's some money."
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, Samsung they're untouchable when it comes to...
No, I'm not saying they're touchable. I'm just saying, God damn it, this is sad and fucked up.
Yeah, but,
So this is another reason not to buy a Galaxy. I'm just throwing that out there. They're pieces of shit made of plastic, and some dude died of cancer to make that cheap piece of shit for you. So just throw that bitch in the garbage and go buy a phone that's made of metal. That could be the iPhone. Fine. It's made of metal. Fine. But I'd prefer you buy a HTC One because it's a better phone.
Unless you want a good camera.
HTC camera's fine.
No, not really.
All right, Xbox.
The Prime would be fine. The P1 Prime.
Oh yeah, Galaxy S5 Prime. I don't know. It's still basically I'm thinking Galaxy Cancer phone is what I'm at now.
Yeah, but it takes your heart rate, man. So you know how that cancer's affecting you.
My phone right now takes my heart rate. Just download an app, stick your fucking finger on the camera. It's the same
it does
shit.
it out of the box, man. All right.
Oh, got out of the box. Yeah.
Well, that is a disclaimer when they show it. The first phone that can out of the box, but essentially they say out of the box, take your heart rate. I'm like, yeah, that shit's been gimmicky as fuck for forever. Come on now.
I know. Whatever. You know what that's good for? A bunch of StarCraft watching motherfuckers that don't do shit. And they're like, I want to check my heart rate after I down 7 Red Bulls and watch this live stream on Twitch.
Oh, I read an interesting report that said that super fit people, which is no surprise that they said, super fit people who have a very slow rested heart rate, those people will actually die earlier in life from heart problems in general.
Shit.
Not all of them, but just a higher chance. And it's because the reason why your resting heart rate gets really slow is because it's a nervous system controlled thing, your heart beating, and you retard your nervous system, and then when you get older later in life, you start having heart palpitations because the nervous system is like all fucked up, and like it just doesn't make your heart beat when it's supposed to, and you'll miss heartbeats and whatnot. And the article is actually that you're going to have to wear a pacemaker, not that you're going to die. That super fit people
what was what was the super fit qualification? Was it long distance runners?
To have a long distance runners to have that really slow resting heartbeat of like maybe like 20 beats per minute or 10 beats per minute.
Oh my god.
You're
dead. You're dead.
No, I mean this is your resting, like your true resting heart rate, like you.
That's fucking crazy. My true resting heart rate's never below 70.
It should be around 30 to 40.
Nope.
No,
70.
To take a resting heartbeat, you have to take it like when you wake up naturally on a morning that you don't like get woke up by anything, and like there's a lot of basically you need to be asleep to take it.
Oh, so I probably shouldn't be doing this after a rail of cocaine and a Red Bull?
On or off of a woman's ass?
Well, depends on the day. Thursdays, it's off, a woman. Saturday, though, I don't know. Saturday it could be whoever's in front of me with the coke. I'm not really worried about it.
Man. You gotta give, you know what, Mike? I gotta commend you on that. You kind of dropped the joke there, but you just kept going, man. You kept going.
You feel it. You feel
it's kind of like, oh, I'm fucking it up. But I'm just gonna keep going, man. You know what?
I'm gonna bulldoze this joke. I'm gonna bulldoze the joke until it's fucking funny. I wasn't prepared for the question, Nick. That was too good. You caught me off guard there. I thought I was going to drop my line about Coke and Red Bull, and you guys were just going to sit there and say something stupid. But, Nick, you hit me with a good question, so I can't.
I'm sorry. But anyways, the whole point was that, and that's what I thought was interesting. It's not that your heart gets damaged or whatnot. It was that your nervous system gets retarded. And I don't use that to mean stupid. I just mean...
No, it's just like when you're retard.
Yeah. I just don't want to get when you read. But when you get older in life, that slowing of the nervous system whatnot ends up causing palpitations and leads to you needing to have a pacemaker. And I was like, that's wild.
Right. And that's why you should not long distance run ever.
It's hard on your whole body. It's not just your heart.
It's fucking stupid. I just read an article the other day that was saying something about the percentage of long-distance runners and heart disease, that there's a correlation there because, you're stupid and you shouldn't run like that. I'm just saying, don't run unless you're being chased by a bear and you're good. You'll be healthy.
Yeah.
Just doing other shit.
Why not?
Like lifting weights. Or kicking someone in the face. It's a great way to stay healthy.
Short distance running. There you go.
Getting kicked in the face over and over again, though, not such a good way to live long.
No. You kicking someone in the face. No, you don't get kicked in the face. That's the whole game. If you don't get kicked in the face, you're healthy as fuck. You're jacking motherfuckers up. Your endurance is good. You're able to move around the other kicks. You're not getting hit. I mean, yeah, you get hit in the face too much and you're Muhammad Ali. Sorry.
And he was the greatest.
And he was the greatest, but he still took some licks. You gotta be.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like even he was the greatest in that.
You gotta be Bruce Lee. Wait a minute. I'm seeing a correlation. All these badass motherfuckers die or have some fucked up shit. You know what?
Ultimate Warrior.
After this,
dead.
After this, I'm watching StarCraft. I'm not going to the gym anymore. This is some bullshit.
All right. Speaking of StarCraft,
let's move on. It's StarCraft on Xbox. I don't know. Xbox is $3.99 now, but no Kinect.
Well, I want to say it's now $3.99. Yeah, there's a new SKU available that's going to make it at $3.99 in a sense.
So it's $3.99 without a Kinect.
Yeah, at a new SKU.
Yeah, so what the fuck did I just say?
A lot of people are implying price drop. It's not a price drop because there's still the original $4.99 version. They're just introducing a lower price.
No, Vic. Version. What it is, it's a Kinect. It's an Xbox One without a Kinect is now $3.99.
Yeah, a new SKU. Exactly.
What the fuck does SKU stand for? You fucking acronym dropping motherfucker.
Dude, you used to work in retail, right?
I'm asking you, what does SKU mean?
Keeping unit, dude.
Okay, all right.
Wow.
As long as you know what you're talking about when you say it.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty cool because it's
no, that's great.
Yeah, it's most people don't use a Kinect. Although I do think it takes away from some of the cool shit like the Xbox turn on and waving your hand. I don't know if people use that or not, but I think it's good to give them a choice to pay $100 less and not get that because that's probably what I'll do.
I don't think it sucks for developers who are probably developing some Kinect games right now under the impression that everybody will have a Kinect, and now it's like, fuck.
Yeah, that's true. It is a big fuck you to those guys, but I think if they make something compelling enough, people will buy the Kinect.
And that's what I actually talked about Jeff from Boom Explode podcast about was how the PS4 really had a far superior movement capture system. It just didn't catch on because nobody developed cool games for it. And how do you, as a developer, be like, yeah, let's dedicate an entire fucking team and this huge budget to making an awesome game for a peripheral? You know, you can't. So not having that attached to the Kinect is essential, or to the Xbox, essentially the death of the Kinect. It's just fucking useless.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Mike, you just said it was cool for the voice commands. Now you're saying it's useless.
No, I'm
saying not having it attached essentially makes the device useless going forward.
Yes,
well,
yes.
Yeah,
I mean, I think there are some cool aspects of the Kinect, but they are not related to video gaming whatsoever. Right. It's like I walk into my room.
Words wasn't good. Useless, no. Insignificant, yes.
Consumers don't know what they need, and that's why you got to give it to them.
Yeah, well,
just like a girl at the bar. He doesn't know what you need. You got to
penetrate long and deep. Your customers need long and deep penetration.
Yeah, well,
we got a question. We got a question from Carl Cook. He wants to know what kind of webcams we use. I use the one that's in my laptop because it's free. Well, not really. It came with the laptop.
Yeah, I use the C720 even though I got to find it.
I
Same
use
one as Sneak, I think.
A C61.
Oh well. Yeah, mine's Logitech, like C720.
I just wouldn't buy whatever one Nick uses because fuck.
Wait, does it not look good? Because it looks great on my end. I got
it'll look really good and then it'll look really bad and it'll
it's
look
a
really
bandwidth
good
issue
really
because
bad.
because your video goes away and I never get to see Vic's video.
Well, Vic always has his video turned off.
Yeah, I gotta find my camera, dude.
I use a.
I don't know. Did you get horribly disfigured because we haven't seen your face in a long time?
Dude, I'll be like, no, it's C920. The C920 is the one I use. But no,
does your wife not let you show your face on the podcast? Is she worried that some other chicks are gonna?
Man, I gotta find it. Actually, like the other times I just didn't have it hooked up, and now I moved. And I gotta find where I threw it at.
Vic uses the one that looks like a microphone with a camera in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that's
cool.
Yeah.
C920.
All right, let's move on. I can never say this guy's name. Channing Tatum is going to be Gambit in an upcoming Marvel movie.
I don't know. I don't know who this guy is.
And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say, fuck all you haters out there. This guy's gonna do great.
As long as he's charming. I mean, that's like
yes.
Gambit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as he's charming, man. That's what you gotta be.
Because
like Gambit's
I always doubted this dude. I never liked him. I always talked shit about him. And then I started watching some of the movies that he's done, minus Magic Mike, because I just can't watch all that wang in my face. But he is really funny, and he does a good job of making fun of himself and taking that kind of like The Rock, and I don't know. It's just I like the dude, and I think he's going to do well in a Gambit role because Gambit's kind of cocky and smart ass. I'm worried about that Cajun accent, though.
No, I mean it's not as much cocky as smart assness as it is, as I said, charming. His real superpower is that he can talk himself out of anything, dude. It's like you can this guy can destroy half of the U.S. And he'll be over there in his proceedings and shit, and he'll just end up talking his way to walking away scot-free and getting a Medal of Honor somehow. It's what he does, man.
Nick, are you having a rectal exam right now? What is going on over there?
Oh, my foot was caught in the chair and ended up it hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. And we also got a 5-minute The Flash TV show. We got a 5-minute trailer /
I haven't watched that. I watched the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer today.
Oh, me too. I enjoyed it. I cannot wait to see
Rocket
Raccoon. Rocket Raccoon is going to be just fucking awesome. Yeah. So the Flash trailer, 5 minutes, cool. It looks like, from my initial watching of the trailer, that they're because this kind of is branched off from Arrow. If you guys don't watch Arrow, you need to. It's great. But there's not a lot of like special effects, I'd say, in Arrow. It's more kind of Batman Begins style, where it's very realistic and grounded. Obviously, the Flash is not. He's superpowered human that can run really quick. And there's lots of special effects that goes into that, and it looks like they're not shying away from the special effects and stuff, which I think is cool, and I think it'll translate well to the TV show. What do you guys think?
I love what they did with this suit. How they show off this like super crappy suit, and then they show off his less crappy suit, but then people are thinking like, okay, this suit isn't bad because his first suit sucks, so now this suit looks good in comparison to that. So they get away with like making that cheesy ass suit, which it's not that bad, but in the end,
come on, like picture that's like like Aquaman. Like, how do you make Aquaman in real life look boss? You can't. He's fucking Aquaman. Or Wonder Woman. How do you put Wonder Woman in that outfit with a fucking lasso and not make her look like ridiculous hoary?
You don't. That's like probably the appeal. That's how you get people in the theater of a Wonder Woman movie, dude.
Well, yeah, but you need a chick to fill out that suit, not fucking Gal Gadget. She's like 98 pounds.
But they have to gain weight for it, man. She's gonna have to gain weight for it.
Didn't Lucy Lawless do Wonder Woman at some point?
Lucy Lawless could have done Wonder Woman, and I would have been happy with that.
The Wonder Woman TV show was fantastic from the 80s.
I don't know. I never watched it, probably because I was a boy.
Have any of you guys watched Smallville?
No.
No.
I keep hearing. I don't know. There's just no like Smallville's like it's like it dances around the awesome part of the superhero mythos. It's like we're gonna show you all the characters like side shit and like when they went to high school and all this other stuff and fucking never actually do anything cool.
Yeah, no,
it's like more of a
man. It's just that I think a lot of people are comparing the Super Speed segments, said they kind of look like Super Speed from Smallville and stuff like that too, which I don't know. How do you really do Super Speed good? It's like there's no real way to actually.
They did it great back in the 90s. The fucking Flash from the 90s was amazing.
There's no real good way of showing Super Speed when you're actually looking at that person. When you want to show off that person's face or their expression at the time.
That's not true. They did it once. They can do it again.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they'll be all right. I mean, he's so fast, we don't have to really see it. They could just show it real quick.
But the one scene where he jumped in that car, that was pretty damn dope.
Yeah, it looks cool. I'm excited about it, and I like that they're tying in the Arrow. I mean, I think it's really. I mean, it's not really pathetic. It's really awesome, but it's also kind of pathetic that they're building a more well-rounded and interesting DC universe on TV shows right now than they are for the movies.
Which makes you wonder, are they going to include like the guy who plays Arrow?
If they don't include the Arrow in a movie and they do some other fucktard in Arrow, I will boycott that goddamn movie for at least 3 hours.
But then I'm wondering, man. Like think about this, Mike. Maybe in like a Justice League 2 in like 2022 or 2023 or something like that. They finish off Arrow, finish off Flash, and then those characters. Like go into
Justice League movie's coming in 2016.
No, I mean Justice League 2. So like they finish off Arrows, and then they bring him in Justice League 2, not Justice League 1, which I think could work because the Arrow universe seems like it would be perfect for the cinematic universe that DC's trying to create. Flash, I don't know because it seems a bit more bright and colorful than what Arrow is. It's like dark and grimy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just hope they utilize those characters because they have such a strong following. I mean, Arrow's such a popular show right now, and it's written really well. It's done really well. The guy that plays him is good, and
the guy that plays Flash is really good too, dude. That dude.
Yeah, I like the guy that plays.
He captures the scenes, man.
I can't really like talk to it too much because we haven't seen the show, obviously, but I think he's going to do well as a Flash. I just hope the writing is as strong as it is for Arrow because
Screen Rants,
the way. Go ahead.
So on Screen Rants, actually, it was funny because they were comparing to Spiderman because the comment he made, it's like you got struck by lightning. He's like, lightning gave me abs.
Yeah, that was funny. That was true. God, I need to get hit by lightning.
But then, but they also brought up good points. Like the supporting cast seems like they really are like generic. I don't know, like not like cliche generic characters that they don't.
Right.
Like we compare to like Arrow. You got They need like a
Diggle. Diggle's could have his own
Diggle?
goddamn show. I'd watch that shit. He is the man. Diggle's the fucking man. I can watch that bitch just walk around and beat the shit out of people. And what's her name? Felicity. She was supposed to be a one-off character, and you know the chemistry there, and I guess that character was so strong that they brought her back and back and back and back. Now she's a regular.
No, yeah, dude, she's a good character. I mean, Felicity is like at first, yeah, but she did grow on me, yeah. She did grow.
Yeah, no. At first she was a generic character, and then all of a sudden now she's kind of like his conscience, you know?
Man, I just want Diggle to.
Because he doesn't listen to Diggle. He's like, whatever the fuck, Diggle. You shut the fuck up. I'm the Arrow. But when Felicity's like, no, you're not a killer. You can do this another way. He's like, God damn, bitch. You IT bitch. How come no IT people in real life look like you? Nick Ball's an ugly son bitch, and you look beautiful.
Whoa.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go the joint Argus, dude.
Let's move out. Let's move out of this because we got 2 reviews we got to do before we end the show, and we've been going already for an hour. So we're gonna talk about Spider-Man 2, and we're gonna talk about Godzilla. So if you guys have not seen these movies, we're gonna talk about everything. We're gonna get down to the nuts, the nitty gritty. Did Godzilla have nuts? We don't know. We're gonna talk about it. He might have.
Guys. In other words, spoilers, and you.
Spoilers, yeah. So if you don't want to hear, if you don't want to hear spoilers for these 2 movies, then go away. Spider-Man 2.
Just Mike, hold up. Just skip to the Guru gotta trash it portion if you don't want to hear spoilers there.
You got it. All right, so let's round table style. We're just gonna go yes or no. Did you like Spider-Man 2, Nick?
Didn't even watch it.
What the fuck? Okay, you're done.
I thought you guys were giving me shit about not seeing Godzilla of all movies.
I backed out of Spider-Man 2. I heard so many terrible things about it, I said, fuck it.
All right, so wait, hold on. Yes or no, motherfucker, did you like it, Vic?
Yeah, I liked it.
All right, I liked it also. So going into it, I wasn't sure. So I woke up, I got a text from one of my good buddies. We have a lot of the same likes, a lot of the same interests. And he said, don't go see Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2. It was so bad, it was worse than Spider-Man 3. And I was like, whoa, that's some fucked up shit, because Spider-Man 3 was probably the worst movie I've ever seen. And then I read on Twitter a couple of people who saw it. They were like, oh, this is awesome. And then I read some reviews online, like just skipping to the bottom. I didn't read it because I didn't want anything spoiler, even though obviously you know what happens if you read the comics. But I wanted to just kind of get an overview. And they were kind of like, you know, it's all right. You know, some were like, this is really good. As this is a comic book movie, is all about. Some people were like, this is a giant turd. So I was like, the reviews are everywhere. I mean, obviously I'm going to go see it myself, but going into it, you know, sometimes you just understand that this is going to be a shitty movie, and then you come out, all right, yeah, I see why people didn't like it or whatever. But I think it's one of those movies that's it's fun to watch. It is a really fun movie to watch, especially the first like 45 minutes. And then when the story starts to kick in and the villains start getting introduced, that's when it kind of starts to suck. And it's I'm not going to say it's as bad as like Wolverine, because Wolverine Origins, that movie was like started off and I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be awesome.
Don't ever bring up Wolverine Origins.
Then like 30 minutes. Yeah, the 30 minutes in or 45 minutes in, I was like, this is the worst movie I ever fucking watched. Spider-Man was not that bad, but it was very similar to where I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited. The first few scenes were awesome, and he was and what's his name? Andrew Garfield is such a great Spider-Man. He's so witty and snarky and sarcastic and just like a fucking asshole. He's just great. And then it just kind of tapers off a little bit and felt really rushed at the end. That's kind of my overview of how I felt. Vic, what about you?
It's like I like the movie overall. I mean, like, give it maybe like, 3.5 stars out of 5. It's a fun movie, as you said. It's just not something you'll like really like go there for like, a good story and shit. It's just like the first few, like, the first scenes and stuff like that. Those scenes when he was in the fighting the dude in this high speed chase. And those are like some of the best Spider-Man scenes I've ever seen. Like the action, the movement, the choreograph. That was just really, really
Yes.
freaking awesome Spider-Man action there. It's like, damn.
Yeah, like in the beginning when he's like kind of just jumped off the building, he's just kind of like floating there for so. Like if you like Spider-Man, like if you want to see Spider-Man doing some like cool web slinging, just like being Spider-Man, the first 10 minutes of that movie is like, I mean, I'm about to bust a web slinger. You know, he just fucking moves and it's cool. It's like kind of like Captain America, where you finally get to see him be acrobatic and use the shield a lot. That's kind of how the first few minutes of this was. Is you really got to see Spider-Man be Spider-Man and do cool shit.
Yeah. The main problem with the movie was like, it just became a glorified intro to the new Sinister Six coming out. That's really all it amounts to. It's nothing more. Then it's not Spider-Man 2. It's really Sinister Six prequel is what this movie is.
A lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying that the writing was kind of condensed because they had to lead into a lot of that stuff. And I don't necessarily feel like that was the big. I mean, that is the problem, and because the end was kind of. That part of the story was kind of rushed in at the end there, but I mean they really didn't even mention the Sinister Six or anything about that.
There were so many Easter eggs in there about the Sinister Six was coming out.
Right. But Easter eggs and then like story ruining moments of the movie are two different things. And I don't think that was. Yeah, it was a setup, but it was like a 5-minute mention at the end of the movie. It wasn't like
it's
that
like
was
Iron Man 2, dude. It's a setup.
You basically just recanted the entire Screen Rant review.
Dude, I know, and they bring up a good
Everybody's
point.
fucking
Like
okay.
Iron Man 2.
Tell me in Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 3, where the story even hinted at Sinister Six, other than the little shit on the computer and like Easter eggs, because Easter eggs don't count. I'm talking about major story plots or points in the story where it derailed too much into Sinister Six. Never, because it never fucking happened. It did it at the very end of the movie. The problem was making the fucking what's his name Electro basically worthless and stupid, and then Green Goblin got like 8 minutes of screen time because they spent 77 fucking minutes flashbacking and doing some other bullshit that he didn't even get time to do what he needed to do. He was just like, poof, I'm Green Goblin, suck a dick, bitch. I'm killing your bitch.
I mean, and that's it too. A lot of that was rushed. First of all, they should have focused on one villain. They didn't need to do either Electro. They didn't need to do both Electro and Green Goblin. They should have either focused on Electro.
That was to me. That's the problem. They needed to focus on Electro and use the Green Goblin as the lead into Sinister Six and casually bring him in at the end, kind of how they casually mentioned Dr. Octopus and the fucking Hawk or whatever the guy is, the other flying guy that. God, Spider-Man villains are so fucking.
Vulture.
Thank you, Vulture. They're so lame. But they casually mentioned that stuff at the end. It didn't feel like a lead-in to a Sinister Six.
It really did because you got to first look at the setup. First of all, I think Jamie Foxx even kind of hinted at the Electro is going to be coming back. So in the Sinister Six, obviously, is going to be taking things that happened from Spider-Man 2, talking about how Electro failed to defeat Spider-Man on his own, what Harry's going through, his anger and all that kind of stuff, all that bullshit. Everything's just going to play slowly into the Sinister Six, which even confuses me. I think you and
the people that think that this is a big preview for Sinister Six are giving Sony way too much credit in their ability to put together.
And they said it on Screen Rant, and it makes sense. Sony are probably like, we want a cinematic universe, make it happen, and that's it.
No, I think this is just. I mean, look at Sony's success rate in making a good story. They've never done it, ever. There's always been a big problem with their movies. They have never done a great movie.
And the biggest thing I'm concerned was like, what? Okay, in the Sinister Six movie, who the fuck are they gonna fight? Like, who the hell is the conflict in the Sinister Six movie?
Sinister Six bullshit is just retarded. Like, what are they gonna do? Just
I don't think Spider-Man's gonna be in it, right?
I don't know.
It's what it seems like.
Knowing Sony, yeah, they'll just make a movie about these jackasses playing chess.
No. And then you got a Venom movie coming out, and we haven't seen Eddie Brock hasn't been introduced. One of Peter Parker's buddies, who's supposed to become Venom, and we haven't even seen this guy yet. And yet they want to do a Venom movie. So it's Spider-Man 3. And I think Venom happens before Spider-Man 3, unless I don't know. Maybe I'm confused on that because if that's the case, how in the fuck do you pull that off? Well,
I don't know. I'm really worried about Sony just because I think that they can't write a fucking movie. And my problem with Amazing Spider-Man, isn't that I felt like it was a lead into Sinister Six. It was just back on Sony's normal shit of making a enjoyable movie that's not great.
I just hope it really. I hope the following movies just flop, and then they're like, fuck Spider-Man, and then Marvel gets their license back.
They need to. All right. So speaking of flops, not really, because the movie made like $200 million. Godzilla. Nick, did you see Godzilla?
Fuck yeah.
All right, I went and saw it like super late last night after you guys were like, all right, we're going to talk about it, because I really wanted to see this, and I did not want you bastards ruining it for me, and I knew you were going to talk about it regardless. So I went and saw it last night. Let's go around the table, just yes or no. Did you like it? Vic?
Yeah.
Nick?
Yeah.
Mike? Yeah, that shit was cool. See, I can't obey the rules. I gotta say my own thing. Yeah, so Godzilla, man. To be honest, I was never a Godzilla watcher when I was a kid, because I always thought it was kind of like, this guy in a suit and I'm fucking Godzilla.
It was really hokey, yeah.
Yeah, it was always very, very hokey. And I did see the 1998 remake, and I honestly can't even remember if I liked it or not, because it's been so long.
Oh my gosh, have you seen the honest trailers for the 1998 Godzilla?
No.
The honest trailer? No, I'll have to go back and watch it.
Oh my god,
But I think he ended up like having a bunch of babies, and they look like raptors or something. I don't know.
Honest trailers pointed this out perfectly. They're just ripping off Jurassic Park towards the end. They're like,
Right,
hey, let's cash in on Jurassic Park, and then they try to do their original thing, and then at the end, they literally, like, scene to scene, just ripped off Jurassic Park. The little babies of the raptors and all that kind of stuff too, chasing. I was like, holy shit, mind fucking blown. In 1998.
All right, well, we're not here to talk about 1998. We're here to talk about 2014 Godzilla. So when I went into this, I had no idea that Godzilla was fighting other monsters in this movie. I thought it was just going to be Godzilla wrecking shit and them having to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
And when they showed that first thing, he's like doing his thing and crawling out, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not Godzilla. Is this like Godzilla's first form or some shit?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, is he gonna fly away? And then when I saw the wings, I was like, that's a planet like Mothra or some shit. He's got to be another fucking guy. And then when the guy is like, no, Godzilla, he's here to. He's not Mexican, he's Japanese. Sorry. Vic, you do a better Japanese than me, but basically he was like, Godzilla's here to fucking equalize some shit out. He's gonna go over here and rumpus this fucking jackass. Let it happen, And I was like, oh, this is gonna be fucking great. Anyway, story. I liked it. It kept it. With a Godzilla kind of movie, like, what are you gonna do with the story? You gotta have people that you kind of care about, or a story that's Godzilla is the main character.
As hell, man. I don't remember anybody from that movie.
Well, you didn't have to remember any except the one person. That's all. Doesn't matter, because the movie is about Godzilla, but he's only on screen like 8% of the movie. So you have to make the other 92% stand for something, And
it really doesn't. I mean, all it is like the only thing I took away from this movie is that Godzilla is like the equalizer. And when shit gets whacked out in nature, he takes charge, gets shit done.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. The story wasn't about Godzilla.
What the hell else happened?
The backbone of this story wasn't Godzilla, because you can't make a movie about Godzilla, or else it's going to be what they've made before. It's going to be him fighting some fucking guy in a suit, breaking buildings and shit. You can only watch that. I mean, Superman did that, and I liked it.
It was Godzilla and humanity trying to find their place. In the end, it's just like humanity trying to control nature, and they realize they can't, and nature, nature, and that's it.
Wow, way to steal the line right out of the movie, Vic, of man's foolishness is that he believes that he controls nature.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so that's the whole thing right there, Nate. It's like the whole freaking point of the movie.
Well, I mean, the original movie. The original movie was a correlation to nuclear weapons, and was like,
But the reason why, Vic, Mike, is because Godzilla thought that the Mothra guys, because can we just call them that for short? I mean, they thought
what were they, Mundos, right?
Mundos, that's what it was. But I think Godzilla thought that the testing was gonna lure them or bring them in to feed, so he was chilling out, looking, hey, what's going on? Oh, nothing. All right, cool. Back to sleep.
Right. Because one of the coolest parts to me in that movie was when they first encounter each other, right? And then the thing flies away, and Godzilla gets back in the water and starts swimming towards wherever he was headed. And it's like this naval fleet, and then you just see Godzilla's like spines underneath the water swimming along with them. Like if Godzilla wanted to fuck those guys up, he could have stood up and ate them. But no, he was like, "Come on. It's this way. I'm gonna go fight this dude and fuck his day up." It's gonna be cool.
And
I'm
he
really
didn't just
glad.
like plow through the ships. Like he actually swam under them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's right. I forgot about that part. He knowingly dove under, which was, and you never actually see Godzilla accidentally kill anyone. Like I'm sure he did.
Even when he wakes up while they're cleaning up around him, and he gets up and walks away. They don't show the get up and walk away part, but he gets up and nobody gets hurt. I was expecting, like, as he's walking into the ocean, like dead firefighters and like more shit going on. Everybody's just like,
well, and Erin even leans over to me and she goes, "He's just stepped on 10,000 people." I was like, exactly. Like, how does this big motherfucker? Obviously, they want to insinuate that he is caring towards people. There was that scene where he sees the kid, Kick-Ass, the guy from Kick-Ass, and they like kind of look at each other, and then Godzilla's like, "Bro, I'm out." The whole time I kept leaning over to Aaron. Every time Godzilla was like walking around, I'd be like, "Hey guys, don't worry about the Muto. I'll get him," because like he's kind of like your friend. Like you want to rub his belly the whole time,
Yeah.
And I'm really glad he didn't punch anyone. I was really waiting for him to just like kind of side punch one of these things, but he fought like an animal would. He bit first, and then he kind of used his arms for leverage, but like,
and a tail at one point. Remember
and
that?
his tail.
Smashed that.
Dude, he was just
the building.
he alligator whipped that bastard. So hey, we got a question about how they killed off Bryan Cranston early in the movie. That really surprised me. I thought he was going to be kind of the main guy throughout the whole movie, and it ended up being his kid who was the main guy throughout the whole movie, which that surprised me. What about you guys? Did Bryan Cranston, I don't, that's one thing, I don't think they utilized him enough.
I felt like he was around for too long.
Okay.
I mean, he was in the movie. He was there for half of the movie. A lot of people felt.
Oh, he wasn't there for a half. He was there for like a third.
No, run the stopwatch on it. He was there for half the movie. He just wasn't there the entire first half, but he didn't die until halfway through it. And then it was, I don't know. You guys, nobody goes to a Godzilla movie to watch him. I go to a Godzilla movie to watch Godzilla.
Fair enough. Yeah, and that's one thing I will say. I did feel like I needed more Godzilla fighting going on. Like there was that scene, that first scene where you see him and they do the pan up from the legs, and then you see his hands and then his head, and you're like, "Oh, that's Godzilla!" And then he just lets out the, the big old, and then they cut scene, and I'm like, "What the fuck? You just you got my Godzilla boner going, and I thought we were gonna see a fight."
I kind of appreciated at the same time though that they were kind of doing a lot of cutscenes. I felt like they were paying a bit of an homage to the old movies, and that you didn't get like the whole thing a lot. But what I also really enjoyed is that every fucking step of that movie I was like, "Give me this." And like 5 or 6 minutes later I'd finally get it. And it was, I was waiting for it, and it would happen, and I was never once disappointed. Where in a lot of movies you're like, "All right, like this is going to happen. Can we just hurry up and get to that so like I can get like back to being lost in the movie?" And then it just kind of fizzles for you. But I remember I was like, "All right, he's been fucking fighting for so long now. God, please, God, I just want to see him fucking spray fire. Like, just give me the fire."
Yeah.
And then
when he turned
around and fucking like with the blue thing, and I was like, "Holy shit! What the fuck was that?"
Yeah, that was crazy.
No,
and then the end, dude, when he just grabs that dude's mouth, or it was a chicken mouth, I guess, and just opens that bitch up. I thought he was gonna rip him in half, but he was like, "Nah, fucking cum dumpster."
Mike, that was the female.
Yeah, that's what I said. The female.
No, I thought it was gonna rip him in half too, but
her in half.
Yeah, that's why I said her.
Yeah. Muto.
Anyways, I don't know, man. I thought the Godzilla scenes and the fights and the whole Godzilla focus was pretty sweet. I just said the humans, I just didn't care for them.
Well, of course, you don't have to like care about them. You just have to have something kind of, watchable to keep you busy between Godzilla fight scenes. And I thought that they did a really good job of that with, the kid and he didn't. Now, I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, the motherfucker's not going to win any awards, but they did a good job of making him feel like he had to keep fighting to get back to his wife and kid, and then the Japanese dude was there to kind of push the story along, like, hey, this is what's happening, because you army motherfuckers are stupid as shit, and you just want to keep feeding these things nukes, and I'm telling you not to, and so the characters were there for a particular reason, obviously, because you can't just do a Godzilla, by himself. We got another question loaded up here. Do you think that Godzilla lived up to the hype? It certainly had a great deal of it before, and the opening of all the top secret storyline and stuff. Yeah, I think that the opening really laid out quite a bit. Like just in the first few seconds of credits, they really basically told you what was going on. I would have liked maybe to have a little bit more detail, or I don't know, flashbacks or something. I don't know. I felt like I needed more secret shit. Like, yeah, we know about Godzilla, and we nuked him. We tried to kill him, but
I felt like they did a fabulous job, and I don't think they knew about Godzilla.
I'm not saying they did. I'm not saying they did a bad job. I'm just saying like that kind of stuff is kind of what I wanted more of. Like maybe his diving more into his origins, or
in the sequel. In the sequel, they'll give us a little bit more because that shit's fun. It's fun to pretend that we used to know about this stuff. But I thought it was really cool how little they told us, because I don't know about you, but I thought that what I thought was that they killed Godzilla while doing the nuclear experiments, and that they weren't actually experiments. They were actually just killing Godzilla in the Pacific Ocean there in the 40s, and that he actually swam away and died, and that his body was what was found inside of the quarry. And that
how that happened?
No, because they nixed
Quarry like in the middle of Las Vegas, dude.
She was like, "Is that Godzilla?" And he's like, "No, this is much older."
No, and that's what I was like. So this is what I'm thinking. I was like, oh, is this was Godzilla, and like, okay, so some like fucking baby Godzilla is hatched out of this shit, and then that's what I thought went to the nuclear plant. You know what I mean? And like,
okay, that's
what they
I was on that train too.
Yeah, so I feel like it did a good job.
My friend.
Yeah, exactly. It was a red herring, and it was fabulous. And I felt like if they would have given us any more information, you wouldn't have had that joyride to get you to the Mudos getting hatched. Because
gotcha.
You the whole time you're kind of like, all right, so this is like some Godzilla shit. You didn't think it was another creature, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe the sequel they could dive into a little bit more or something like that. But
yeah.
I mean, otherwise I didn't have any problems with the way they developed that. That's the kind of stuff that you like. Like you like to feel, you said, you like to feel like It's like we got to tell you the inside secrets to make you feel cool. When you're watching it, you're like, oh, okay, like reveal more stuff to me because this is my jam.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, I liked it a lot. I thought the action was good. The story didn't fuck the movie up, because I think like I said, in a Godzilla movie, you just basically have to get something that's passable in between the scenes of Godzilla doing cool stuff. I thought the animation and just the overall special effects were done really, really well. There was a little bit of kind of a lag I felt when I was watching it, where I was like, all right, it's like Godzilla meets bad guy, they fight, bad guy runs away, Godzilla tracks down bad guy fights Godzilla, they run away. There was a lot of that same kind of repetitious stuff happening to get to this climax of the three of them finally, Royal Rumble style duking it out, and it was a little long, but other than that, I mean, no major complaints.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Good movie.
It was good, and they already got okayed for a sequel because it made all kind of money.
Oh my God! Thursday night it already hit like 90 million on Thursday.
Yeah, it was I think it was over 200 million by the weekend, and that's crazy. I mean, this is a Godzilla movie. Like, I didn't expect the turnout to be that good. I thought, like even Erin wasn't like super psyched about seeing it, and I just kept telling her, hey, I want to go see Godzilla. I want to go see Godzilla. And then she was like, all right, cool. And then she actually really enjoyed it too. So it I think it's a good movie that everyone should go check out. It's definitely better than Amazing Spider-Man, that's for sure.
No, you're there. You know what's crazy? Freaking X-Men: Days of Future Past is sitting at 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. And it's actually,
what is that?
It went up. It went up. So earlier it was like 92%. Now it's over 91%. Now it's at 93%.
What is this?
Coming in. The new X-Men movie. Fox
Oh
and
yeah,
X-Men
no,
movie?
the early reviews of the X-Men movie have been really positive. Like
I'm surprised.
I haven't read. Yeah, I'm really shocked because I'm ready for this to be a giant piece of shit because of Sony.
Exactly. I mean, every single movie in the past, like, has been kind of like, except for the first one, because that was the first one, was kind of like, well, it is what it is.
I like the second one a lot too. The second one, we got to see Wolverine go Wolverine. Like he he stabs that guy in the foot in the hallway of the mansion, and he just like rages out on some people. I thought the second one was good.
The third one,
The third, oh my god,
people crazy.
And it's Sony, man. Look at it. Sony makes a passable first movie, Amazing Spider-Man 1, X-Men 1. Both of them were passable.
No, Fox is
in fact, I
X-Men.
think
X-Men's Fox.
What?
X-Men is Fox. X-Men and Fantastic Four. It's Fox.
Oh, it's not Sony?
Sony's only Spider-Man.
Are you sure it's not Sony?
Yep.
Maybe you're right. Well, either way, by the third movie, they're just giant train wrecks, pieces of shit. So now, First Class was pretty good.
First Class actually
It wasn't like let me rub my balls on it good, but I mean it was decent, and then it was better than X-Men 2, or I mean X-Men 3, and I'd even say the first X-Men. X-Men 2 is really the only one that stands up for me.
X-Men 3 was bad, dude. I don't even know what the fuck they were doing.
X-Men 3. All I remember is Phoenix, who is the most powerful entity in the entire galaxy. She's hanging out in the woods with Magneto.
Exactly. It's like half the time you don't even see Phoenix until the end.
What are you guys doing? Are you roasting marshmallows? Like, what do you do? You're a cosmic god, and you're the fucking Magneto. You can fucking do whatever you want. You're hanging out in the woods.
Exactly. You think it would have been some kind of battle between the X-Men, the Brotherhood, and X-Men joining forces to take down the Phoenix? Is what I thought it was going to be. But then it's just like,
no, that's a shitty movie. So we got one last question before we stop talking about movies. We got, is there a definite plan that's been announced for a sequel or subsequent storylines? No. As far as I know, for Godzilla at least, they basically just announced, hey, we were doing a sequel because it made a bunch of money, and then they're going to go back into the writing and all that fun stuff. So no details yet.
Easy. It'll be easy.
Of course, it's a fucking
2 years and it'll be a new one in theaters.
Yeah, feature creature. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Or creature.
Especially with it being digital, you know.
Right. It's gonna be like Star Wars. They're gonna crank that bitch out in a year.
Yeah.
All right. Guru gotta have it. Guru gotta trash it. What do you guys got for us this week?
Actually, I don't have anything.
All right, my pick this week is a hot app on iOS. Get it while it's hot, because it probably won't be out there for that long. Weed Firm. That's right. Selling drugs is fun as long as you're doing it in a virtual environment, kids. Grow pot. Sell it to people who come to your door. Watch out for robbers. They'll rob you fucking blind. I had to quit at level 5. I was out of cash, out of pot, and didn't have any seeds. So get that, play it. It's a lot of fun. I'm sure Apple will be banning it shortly.
I like the way you sold that like a commercial.
I'm getting good at selling.
Mm-hmm.
You are. Vic, you didn't have nothing?
Nope.
All right. Let's see. What do I have? I don't have nothing either. The Star Wars Cup.
You guys give me so much shit when I don't have anything.
But yeah, I know. I don't have. Let's see. Did I get anything cool? Any cool apps?
How about that Michael Jackson hologram last night?
I haven't watched it yet.
Pretty terrible.
Probably. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and trash that. MJ.
The singing was bad, but everything else was really well done. I think they shot it with actual actors though, and then did a face over.
Oh, face on. I gotcha.
But it's all digital. But it was great. They had backup dancers, like a little set. I like it. I'm looking forward to the day where I can have a concert in my living room.
Or in your pants.
Cool.
I already have that.
Boom, bass drum. This is the Gadget Gurus podcast. You guys can get a hold of us podcast at thegadgetgurus.net. If you'd like to get a hold of us individually, Nick, where can they get you?
You can email me, Nick at thegadgetgurus.net. Of course, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/thegadgetgurus.
Beautiful. And Vic, how about you, buddy? Where can our listeners get a hold of you?
Vic at thegadgetgurus.net, twitter.com/Vito722. And as usual, make sure to check out the Boom Explode podcast, the only podcast that you can sing, scream perfectly in bed, when you're banging your wife or husband or partner or whatever you guys do these days, these kids. Crazy ass kids. And of course, you got the most recognizable names in gaming with Jeff F. and Gamer15 Chris. Or Gamer Chris.
Did you just suggest that this is the only podcast you can watch while having sex? Is The Boom
The
Explode
only podcast name you can yell in the bedroom.
That makes more sense because what you said sounded like I was like had my laptop open while hitting doggy and I'm watching the fucking Boom Explode podcast.
No, for what you guys said earlier, you know.
All right, I got you.
Post-coitus.
So that you can yell Boom Explode while coitus, post coitus.
Boom!
Boom Explode.
Explode.
Well, this is the Gadget Gears podcast, episode number 234, and the Gadget Gears are out.
Nick Ball.